Hello and welcome back to an all-new episode of Caregivers Community. I'm Danielle, and if you're new here, I will let you I am I am a family caregiver. I am a caregiver to my mom who has cancer. She has stage 3 cancer, and I care for her full time. Okay, today's topic is going to be about wills and powers of attorney. A will is to assure that most people know what a will is. A will is a document that assures your family is taken care of in their afterlife while everybody else is still here. It is to make wishes and to fulfill their wants and needs while they have passed, whether that be a burial or cremation, or who their financial stuff will go to, and everything else from the healthcare to afterlife. There is also stuff that has to do with just overall care, and usually the caregiver, family caregiver, is a power of attorney. They usually take care of the finances and making decisions concerning the person's health to begin with. So usually they're granted the power of attorney. You could add several powers of attorney to your will to make it easier for not only the caregiver but for the family. You can also buy notebooks like this off of Amazon that are planners that will they're notebooks and they're planners that will give you all the details to passwords, um, letters that you can send your loved ones, details of how you would like to have your last days be, um, passwords to financial stuff, and everything in between. That usually is the case with wills, and you can also, there's a website for Canadians and for also Americans that is called Willful. It is a website where you can usually pay $99 to $300 to $400 to write out your will and to update it, and there will be lawyers involved. So there are lawyers with their website that will usually be able to help you through it and will be able to make it legal and binding. Well, Phil, I will leave a link in my bio for Willful, that website Willful, and I will also leave a link in my bio for the planner that I showed you. It might look different, but you can get these off of Amazon. I'll leave a link for you in my description in my video for the planners and for the Willful website. I am not sponsored by Willful. I just want to put that out there. I'm not affiliated. I'm not sponsored with them. I am just leaving the link out there to help all family caregivers and their patients to get through the toughest time of their life, usually the greatest time to start a will would be at age 18 and up, because you never know what's going to happen. You never know what terminal illness, um, how you could pass away at any moment. Usually people start wills when they're married or expecting children. I think it's the best time to start a will, especially because my brother did pass away at 30 and we were left with no real information except for how he wanted to be um, taken care of in his afterlife. We have no passwords to his laptop, no passwords to his accounts, so no passwords to his bank accounts. So I think that 18 and up is a great age to do that because he was 30 and he didn't think that he was going to die. And we were left with no information to actually do anything here on earth for him, except for, thank God for our family, we did openly talk about how we wanted to be, if anything happened to us, how we wanted to be buried or cremated. So it helps to have a will, especially, I don't think that it's just important for when you start a family, when you buy a house, when you get married. I think it's more important to start a will when you're 18 and up. Usually, you start a will also when you have a terminal illness or when you are in old age. That is usually, that's the old-fashioned way of doing things, sometimes, and sometimes the other old-fashioned way is when you end up having a baby, you think of getting life insurance and having a will. I think now in modern times, especially when we are losing people at such young ages, and we never know when a terminal illness is going to hit any one of us, it helps to have a well-documented wishes that you would like to be fulfilled in a notebook or legally binding with the website, like I said, Willful. And I'm sure there are other websites around other countries that offer this. And if not, you can talk to a lawyer. Um, I'm sure they're not that expensive, and you can just have like a free kind of sit down to kind of talk about your options and to work out a payment plan or just figure out what you can do. Like I said, there's a notebooks out there on Amazon, and I'm sure other websites where you can find, just Google wills and planners, and you will be able to find planners that will guide you. It's kind of like a will. There's no legal binding, but it does help your family in the end be able to know what your wishes are and what they want, what you want them to fulfill when you are passed away. As for being power of attorney, that helps while they're alive and while they're also passed, because there are such things as living wills also, and powers of attorney usually are the ones that help, like caregivers, help make decisions financially if the person is dealing with memory loss and having trouble paying bills and having trouble keeping up with certain things. There's usually, just like a caregiver, there's a power of attorney who makes decisions based off of the needs of the person that they are caring for, such as health decisions, the wishes of what they would like to have follow through as far as the dignity of them while they are still living and the health concerns that have them still living. And also the fact that when they pass away, there's needs to be a dignity and respect there too. Now, let me give you an example. I was in my caregivers group, and we were talking about just our family members and the health concerns that they were dealing with, and everybody had a different issue. But the similar aspect and topic that came up is everybody the power of attorney of. It's just a legal binding thing that says that you are the person, you are basically the caregiver that cares for this person 24/7. It's just legally binding. That's all the power of attorney basically means. But as a caregiver, you should be one of the powers of attorney because you are the person taking care of all their needs. You know their wishes, you know what they want in the end, and while they are still living. So the power of attorney is really important as far as a will goes. And also having all their passwords and stuff, like I said, in the notebook will really help and go a long way. Um, these notebooks are really inexpensive. They go up to like $11 to $20, so you should be fine financially wise. Willful costs a little bit more. Willful is around $99 to $400. That's a little bit more pricey, but it does help that you don't have to go into a law firm and talk to a lawyer. Um, Wills are not really something that no everybody wants to talk about. They're taboo. I mean, nobody really wants to talk about death and how the person that you love or that you're caring for, like a neighbor, a friend, or a family member, nobody really wants to talk about death and what's going to be left to them. But death is also a part of life, and we need to start making it less taboo because certain things in life do happen, and we need to communicate ways where we can access certain things such as social media accounts, bank accounts, and passwords to computers because this goes a long way. It gives you peace of mind and it doesn't leave you wondering what to do, how to hire hackers to get into stuff because that becomes a little bit more pricey. But by leaving a notebook and a will behind, full of all the wishes that you would like, save a lot of time and peace, especially when you're grieving. As a family and as a caregiver, you're not going to have a lot of space in your mind to um, think about the things that are really important that need to be done, such as going through the bank accounts, closing accounts, making sure that certain people that are called, that you have their phone numbers, family, friends, and relatives, making sure that relatives and family members get there in time to the hospital to see the person that they love who's passing away, maybe. Um, Also, letters that the person left behind. There's just so much important little details that you as a person are not going to think about because you're caregiving. I mean, because you're caregiving, but you're also grieving. When you grieve, you don't think about that stuff. You are too absorbed into the grief that it becomes hard for you to even create certain things. So having a will kind of gives you the relief of, okay, everything is prepared, everything is taken care of. Now all I have to do is worry about caregiving and caring for the person. And hopefully it doesn't get to the point where they're in hospice and they are on their last leg, but you're still giving them dignity and respect by doing all of this. And I know that this is not easy to talk about wills and to plan out death because it's not a fun topic. It's scary, it's sad. Nobody really wants anybody to pass away, but we as caregivers need to make sure that we respect people enough and the loved ones that we are caring for enough to actually create a safe place for them to pour out all the information that they need so everything is taken care of so you in the end don't have to think about a lot of the things that they want. You have all the information there. You know who to call if it ever does happen. You have all the passwords to their accounts. You are legally binded to them, and nobody can come after you because you are their power of attorney and you have all the information in either in this notebook or on the website willful or with a lawyer that you've talked to about these things because they matter. All of this matters, and as scary as it is and as uncomfortable as it is to talk about wills and powers of attorney and to talk about leaving our loved ones behind, we need to leave information behind for everybody so they know where to turn to, they know what documents to go through because it saves a lot of time for you to continue to focus on your grief and to continue to move through grief instead of stressing about where everything is and what their wishes are. And it's also a love letter in a way. I find I think in my mind that wills and planners are kind of love letters to family members, letting them know that they did care about them enough to leave a well-documented notebook or have a well-documented website where they can turn to and just read everything that they've needed, and also have left letters for every family member for them to have. There's nothing wrong with passing away, and there's nothing wrong with um, dying with dignity. We just have to do it in a gentle, positive way. And I think that wills and having powers of attorney really do it justice and are in a gentle, positive way to leave family members with the memories and have everything kind of taken care of for them. So there's no stressing out. There's just focusing on the grief and moving through the grief to heal. So if you interested in checking out the notebooks, check out Amazon. That's where they're located. There's also some on Etsy, I noticed. So you can kind of find these notebooks anywhere, and they're really helpful. They really are, and they're beautifully done. So there's a little bit of humor that goes involved in it as well, which I find refreshing with these notebooks. And if you are located in the Canada or United States area, please check out Willful. And also, if there are no websites for you in a certain country that you may be located in, such as Canada or the United States, just Google wills and online wills, and they should be able, Google or some kind of website should be able to send you to an online will where you can actually find something. And there's also downloadable there are documents that you can download for wills that I have found. I've done all the research for you guys, so I will leave both of the links for the notebook and also for Willful down below in the description. Once again, I'm not affiliated with Willful. I am not sponsored by them in any way. I just want people to be able to have the right information and to be able to find the information easier, because having the security of somebody's future in your hands and also in your own hands for your own future, just to be able to have easy access like that will be so helpful. And there's nothing wrong with creating a will. It's not morbid, and it's not disturbing. It's a little bit sad, but it's about creating a sense of relief and a sense of the power to kind of take your life in your own hands. And if anything happens to you, such as an accident or an unexpected illness or just old age in general, there is the power of having a living will and also an afterlife will for everybody in your life. And there's nothing morbid about it. There is something peaceful about it. I know that some people, I used to struggle, especially before I became a caregiver with my mom having cancer. I used to struggle with the fact that people were going to pass away in my life, even though I have watched so many people pass away in my life. It still was a hard topic for me to talk about, especially with wills and with the afterlife and with leaving stuff behind and having things organized. But it's actually a love letter in itself, and it's so much easier to create a safe place and have these documents on hand where you can find them easier if something does happen, because we really never know what's going to happen in life, and it's better to be prepared than not prepared. So just, if you're curious, check out the websites. No pressure here. Thank you for watching this video. I hope that you've learned a lot about wills and power of attorney and how some of that stuff works. I'm not a lawyer, so um, I may not have hit on every subject that is needed, but as a caregiver, this is what I've learned personally, and this is what I feel that as caregivers, especially family caregivers, we need to know about. And not all of us caregivers know about this stuff and have the information in front of us or know where to look. So thank you for watching this video today, and I will see you in the next video. And if I have left anything out or you would like to add anything to this video, please leave a comment below. Please share with your friends if they are curious about how wills and powers of attorneys work. If they are a caregiver themselves, share it with another fellow caregiver. And I appreciate all the likes, the just you watching in general. I appreciate that you watch my videos, that you learn something from my videos, and that we are a community that is filled with love and support because we are a caregivers community. So let's put the care back in caregiving. And for now, I will see you next week. Thank you again for watching Caregivers Community. Let's put the care back in caregiving, and bye for now.